Fact: there are more than 781 million games registered on Steam. Statement: as there are so many games on Steam, the games with the highest reviews must be some of the best in the world. Question: is this true? Steam Reviews launched in 2013. It was added to enhance the end user's buying experience. Reviews written by the community for the community, to help you find better games. No longer would you have to visit the sites of the mainstream gaming media, who were more than likely to have a biased opinion on these games. Even you could write a review. Yes, you are now a gaming critic. It has been a major success. Nearly every customer on Steam will read some user reviews of the game before they decide to make a purchase. So it makes sense to believe that an average of all of these reviews, taken across such a large sample size, will give you the best representation of the game possible, right? The first problem with Steam Reviews is that they can actually be bought. I didn't know about this until I started doing some research, and I found out about this website called Fiverr. The idea being that people will offer services to you starting for around about $5. And sure enough, if you started looking through Fiverr, you could find some pretty sad things on there, to be honest. Some people offering to play games with you for $5, but it didn't take long to find somebody who would actually do a review for you on Steam for $5. This means that Steam Reviews, especially for smaller indie titles, can actually be bought and paid for, which is a little bit concerning. However, we will have methods to filter these out. Also, while I was on this website, I managed to find a guy who said he will do power plant, steam or gas turbine questions for you. He states, "I will guide you in nuclear power plant." Hey Jack, how's it going? Yeah, you know that problem we're having with the control system for the nuclear power plant? Yeah, I've got it all sorted. There's this guy I found on the internet. His name's Abdul. Guess what? It only costs £5. He's going to sort the whole thing for us. I know, right? It's going to be fine. What do you mean we should vet it? No, don't put it through quality control. I'm sure it'll be fine. This guy says that it's really good. Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't you worry. Another problem with Steam Reviews is that games can be review bombed. The game can be objectively good, but if the developers decide to put their foot in it one day, then the gaming community would do everything they can to take them to town. The problem with review bombing is that an objective game can be reviewed as bad, for political reasons. However, Steam does do a good job of making consumers aware of an influx of negative reviews, at the very least. The main problem with Steam Reviews is that small games can actually have very, very high reviews. They'll have a very small player base, say about 400, 500 people. If 300 people make a review, then that game could be seen as a good game. An extreme example would be if only one person was to review a game, it would have a rating of 100%. Now this is going to be the biggest issue when looking at Steam Reviews. So, taking into consideration that Steam Reviews can be bought, they can be review bombed, and that smaller titles can have a higher rating than huge AAA games, how is it possible to truly find the best rated games on Steam? Well, there is a way. Steam Database is a third-party tool that was made to give better insight into the applications and packages that Steam has in its database. Basically, it tells you what some of the most popular games are on Steam. They also break down some of the top-rated games of all time according to their own special algorithm. Basically, all this algorithm does is it takes the total reviews, gets a ratio of the positive reviews over the total reviews, and that bottom equation there gives it a bias towards 50% if they haven't got that many reviews. The idea being that games with little reviews, but very positive reviews, will be filtered out using this equation. Now this is all well and good, and it really does give you some of the best games available on Steam. Some of these are game changers. However, this isn't what we're quite interested in. I'm sure you're aware of most of these games anyway. What we're truly interested in is finding out what are the highest rated games on Steam in 2017 as chosen by the Steam gaming community. And believe me, Steam has chosen well. Deep Space Waifu, releasing in August 2017 with a rating of 98% and 1,910 user reviews to back it up. This is one of the highest rated games of the year. Even Cuphead didn't come this close. Deep Space Waifu is a game where you fly around in a spaceship fighting aliens, and in the process you destroy clothing of these giant girls behind you. This game has quite a loyal following and even comes with a one-handed game mode. People are describing it as Disappoint Your Parents Simulator 2018, the most American game of all time, neckbeardy filth, and an unbelievable masterpiece. Deep Space Waifu truly is worth a try if you haven't seen it already. I'm not entirely sure if it's allowed to be streamed on Twitch. Sadly, I haven't seen anyone playing it there. Besides the colourful aesthetic and unique idea behind the game, one of my praises would actually be that the soundtrack is actually amazing. If you're into new retro wave, then I would highly recommend giving this 80s throwback upbeat soundtrack a listen. Doki Doki Literature Club is a family-friendly game that all the kids can enjoy. This game has been blowing up in popularity, but it's only a month old and is still not that well known. Okay, let's cut the crap here. Don't be fooled by this game, it's fucked up. It honestly is best to play it blind. I don't want to spoil the game for you here, but it's free to play and only takes a few hours to complete. I would highly recommend playing it and seeing for yourself what it's all about. Just bear in mind when it says it's not for people who are easily disturbed, it really means it. The game currently has over 97% positive reviews with 16,817 user reviews for this game. Give it a try and see what you think.
In the dark, beneath the world, you will find only ancient, crawling beasts and madness.
Crawl released on the 11th of April in 2017. It has over 2,000 reviews with a rating of 96%. The game is a pixel art dungeon crawler with local multiplayer capabilities. What that means is it has a great retro look, and it's one of the few games on Steam that you can sit down with a friend locally and play 2-player, 3-player or 4-player local couch co-op. It can be very tough to find these kind of games, and that's why this game, I believe, has really hit a niche. The basic premise of the game is that you're trying to escape a dungeon. However, the 3 other people you ventured into the dungeon with are dead, and their ghosts are haunting you and taking the forms of monsters or objects in the rooms, and they're actively trying to kill you. If they kill you, they then become the active player, the hero of the game. The main objective is to work your way through the dungeon to the end game boss and defeat them. The game has great replayability, with new monsters and new perks being unlocked every playthrough, but the main reason I would say to pick up this game, if you ever have your friends around often, then it's a great game to play co-op with them. Kind of like in the old days when you could play Street Fighter or GoldenEye or whatever with your friends locally. It's tougher to find games on Steam where you can really sit down with a friend. It's mostly multiplayer online games nowadays. Again, if you haven't looked at it already, it's certainly worth trying out. Releasing only a month ago on the 5th of October in 2017, A Hat in Time has a rating of 98% with over 2,000 user reviews. The game is a 3D platformer that follows a little girl who stitches hats for her wicked powers. It's a shame this game was released between Cuphead and Mario Odyssey. Many people have gone out of their way to leave stellar reviews for this game. One review has stated, "I did not know I could be this happy." The game is currently popular but is not on the top sellers list. However, this may change in the coming months. In fact, with most games on this list, you might find that actually a lot of people leave extremely positive reviews, it generates a lot of hype about the game, and then later on, more people want to play this game, or the games previously mentioned, but sadly their expectations are set way too high for what the game should actually be. Be under no illusion, A Hat in Time is a great game. It has everything you possibly want in a 3D platformer, and even as an adult it brings you back to my roots of when I first started playing games. The game is one of the more expensive titles in this list so far, costing more than all of the previous games mentioned combined. However, if you're into 3D platformers, I would certainly give this game a look at the very least. Neko Para is the third in a series of visual novels. The game is dubbed in Japanese with subtitles in English and in traditional Chinese. The story is a self-defined cat comedy. Now you have to excuse me for saying this, but I've been gaming for over 20 years and it's the first time I've heard of this genre, cat comedy. However, in 2017, this game has proven to be one of the most critically acclaimed games on Steam. It has over 97% positive review rating with over 4,000 reviews. However, it is worth noting that the majority of these reviews are from Chinese users. The game isn't all that expensive, and if you're into boobies and waifus and animes, then I'm sure it's worth giving a go. But hey, I didn't make this list. You did. The Steam community at large created this list. Believe me, there's plenty more titles, which had me wondering how much longer my YouTube channel will last. Already I can see a few strikes coming from this video. Regardless of it being a cup of tea or not, all I'll say is thank you very much for watching the video. There's plenty more like this to come. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please make sure to follow me on Twitch as well. And I do plan on doing a blind playthrough of the Doki Doki Literature Club this week as well. So please, follow me on Twitch, and if you're into that kind of stuff, then come experience the game with me. Also, you may have noticed I've rebranded my name from Small Godfly to Karakai. Karakai is an older name, it's one that I've gone back to. I wasn't too fond of Small Godfly, it's just a change that I wanted to do and I've been meaning to do for over 6 years if I'm truly honest. But anyway, as always, thank you very much for watching the video. Until next time.